Hey, welcome to the Strong Roots podcast. My name is Kristin Hill, and we are so excited that you're tuning in today. Our prayer is that you would move one step closer to Jesus through this series. So go ahead and check out this next episode. Welcome back to the Strong Roots podcast. My name is Kristin. I'm here with Morgan. We're on episode 4, and we're going to be talking about keeping up with the Joneses and what that looks like in her life. So let's get started. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so first question for you is, what expectations have you felt like you needed to achieve in your life?
That's tough. I think I put a lot of pressure and expectation on myself, and we all feel it from your boss, from your friends, from your parents. Yes. You feel like this expectation to perform, and I put those on myself. And for me, with my horses, like, I've got to train, I've got to compete, I got to stay one track minded, I have to do the most, be the best, and it's good in the short term and it gets the job done, but at what cost?
Right. At what cost?
You suffer, your relationships suffer, your friends, you cut out everybody, and it's like, okay, you're at the top of the mountain, but who's with you? You know, and so for me, I had this moment of revelation training for nationals. I was like, it doesn't matter if I win. It doesn't matter. The journey is getting closer to God throughout the whole process, but bringing my people with me, because it's going to mean nothing to me if I don't have all my family and friends ringside because I pushed everybody away in the process.
Right. So
it's a slippery slope. It's dangerous to like throw yourself into that one track mind and push everyone out.
So true. So what does it mean to be set free from the burden of expectations?
I love this so much because, again, I had this revelation and I realized, like, it isn't about what I want. It isn't about what my dream. It's about the dream that God put into my heart. And if you follow that dream and you stick on that path, like, you're free. You don't have to worry what everybody else is doing. You don't have to worry about how everybody else is progressing or what everybody else thinks. It's just staying the course that God has mapped out for you, sticking close to Him, keeping your people close. That's the victory right there. So you don't put those preconceived notions and those hard set expectations. You're just like, it's whatever God wants me to do. It's going in the direction that He's pointing me. It is really liberating because you're not holding yourself accountable to what you want or what everybody else wants. It's God wants.
Absolutely. Do you feel like being single has its own burdens?
Oh, absolutely.
What would
absolutely those be? Just, again, keeping up with what everybody else is doing. I see all my friends are married or in relationships or engaged. I'm the only single one, and I'm like, what gives? You know, it's hard. It's so hard. And my mom has always been a really big, like, get married later on, focus on yourself first. But I do feel some pressure. My friends are having kids. I'm like, well, when are you going to get married? When are you going to have kids? And I'm like, whenever God brings the right person. And it is hard with your friends that aren't as into their faith. It just looks different. It's not a bad thing, you know, but it's just different.
Absolutely. So true. So practically speaking, how do you walk away from unfulfilled dreams? And what have you replaced those dreams with?
God puts those dreams in my heart. And I had such a huge expectation for what I thought my life was supposed to look like. Yeah. And you get so angry when it doesn't work out because you can't force it. If it's not God's timing, you can't force it. And when it is, you can't stop it. So you have to recognize that everything is going to happen in His timing. And even if you have a dream that isn't fulfilled, or you had to drop something, or you had to put something down, you have to trust in the fact that God is not going to take the effort that you put into something that wasn't meant for you. That's not going to be wasted. He is somehow going to use that in your life, in your future, in the dream that He has called you to do. It's not going to be wasted. And that, knowing that, made it so much easier to put down things that I knew I wasn't being called to.
Like what?
Certain relationships, certain guys, a job, a dream for a job, a dream of what I thought my future was going to look like, and saying, like, well, this is the person I thought I was going to marry, and this is the house I thought I was going to live in, and this is where I thought I was going to be. And you have to let go of that. You have to say, you know what? How I was in that moment is going to feed into something in the future, but I have to let go of that dream because that's not what God has planned. What God has planned is far greater than just that. So,
have you ever let go of a dream and God replaced it with something even better?
Yes, 100%. I was super focused on like being married and finding the right guy. And then I, started following Jesus instead of my dreams. And that led me to here, this moment, and encouraging women and encouraging myself and having God use me. Like, that's way better, way better. Like, I realized I would have been settling.
Yeah.
And then putting the dream in my heart with my horses and just pouring into my friends, pouring into my church, pouring into all these different cups rather than just me, myself and my, dream of getting married. Like, letting go of that dream enabled me to have energy and effort to put into 1,000 other things I never dreamed would be possible.
That a married person couldn't.
Right.
I love that.
Right. And I really do believe that when I get married, because it is a when, I will have had all those experiences. It's only going to make my marriage stronger. And I won't have any what ifs. I won't be sitting there thinking, well, maybe I should have done this. Or what if I had obeyed? What if I hadn't, it's just, I won't have those. It will I did this amazing thing and I have this amazing foundation and all these experiences. I'm super close to God. I never would have had that relationship with him had I focused on a relationship with a guy.
So good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm excited about that.
Yes. So what does an abundant life, a full life look like to you?
I love this. I love all of this, but I love this. If you would have asked me this 8 months ago, a year ago, I know like lately we've been talking a ton about how my life would have looked a year ago. But I would have told you abundance was having a big bank account and my nice car and living in a house and making $100,000 a year. But that's crap. That's not an abundant life.
Yes.
It isn't. It doesn't matter what you have. It doesn't matter what car you're in or how much money you have in your bank account. Because like God doesn't care about money. That's not how he works. What matters is who you're with. It matters who's beside you. Do you have a really strong team that in a crisis mode, you can pick up the phone and they're going to answer and they're going to be there for you? It isn't about how much money you can make in a year. It's about how much time and love you can pour into some other people. And maybe it's one person, it's a particular friend or a family member. That's about an abundant life that people look at you and they're like, that person, I know God exists because I see him in that person.
Absolutely. Do you feel like the more you follow Jesus, the more abundant your life is?
Yes, 100%. And the more you pour into other people and the more you pour into him, whether it is financially, because money's a hard one for me, but financially, spiritually, emotionally, just pouring into him and pouring into other people through him and letting other people pour into you through him too.
Yes.
It's people need people, and I didn't always believe that, but now I'm like sold on that.
Yeah.
That's truly it. That's truly it. It's not about where you're going or what you have, it's who you have with you.
So good. Yeah. Especially Jesus.
Oh, yeah. Number one.
Yes. Okay. Ready?
Yes.
What has been a blessing of not chasing after expectations?
You're free. You're free. You're free. And you're free to open up. I feel like when you have expectations, your hands are full of something that may or may, and maybe it is meant for you, maybe it's not, but if you let go of that expectations, you're free to just say, okay, God, put in my hands what I am supposed to have and move my feet where I am supposed to go. And you will find yourself, you are completely in the opposite direction of where you thought you were going to be, but you have no doubt in your mind that is exactly where you're supposed to be.
And sometimes it's the greatest adventure.
It is. It is an adventure. It is. And it's wild, and you get closer to God in the process.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't trade that for anything. And the day that I do get in a relationship, I get to bring that with me.
Yeah.
And the right relationship, you don't have to compromise that. The right relationship is only going to strengthen that foundation that you built when you were single. It makes the discernment so much easier.
Absolutely. So, last question.
I'm ready.
So, what would it look like in daily life to embrace the idea that Jesus is enough rather than trying to do it all yourself?
Oh, that's so tough because I am that type of person. It's so hard because you do want to do it. But being that way and just being, and again, letting go of that expectations and letting Jesus figure it out. I mean, the peace that it brings you. I'm a hard person. I don't rest well. I got to be doing something or I'm having a mental breakdown. And that's not the way it should be. And you find this sense of peace that like, no matter how it's going to work out, it's going to be for my good and for his glory. And you'll look back and you're like, I have no idea how that even worked. I have no explanation for why that went as smoothly as it did. Because you let go and you let God.
If you want to leave them with one thing right now, what would it be?
Just trust God and put him number one. It sounds so cliche. It sounds so like yeah, okay, I did that, but did you? Like, are you really putting it down? Are you really giving situations? Are you in the thick of a crisis, or you're obsessing over your singleness and is God going to bring me a good man? Stop worshiping it. God will give you what you want and what you need the minute you put it down and just let him handle it.
Yep.
And he can't fix and he can't work on what you will not let go of and what you won't give him. I'm a huge believer in that.
Yes.
And I'm paraphrasing because that isn't my words. It's just my wisdom that I've imparted from, disclaimer, from other sources, from you. It's true. But that would be let go, let God.
Yes. So good. Thank you so much.
Always.
Thank you for tuning in. We can't wait to see you again. Please check out our next podcast as well. We can't wait to continue to talk about singleness and how to follow Jesus through it. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to follow us on our other social media platforms. We don't want you to miss out on any future content. Thank you so much again, guys. I hope you have a great day. And I want you to know I am personally praying that your roots stay strong.